Hey there, it's Lokazi. Thanks for joining me for another game cast from StarCraft CastIt. This game is going to be between DroneOfArc. Yeah, I don't actually watch these games until they pop up, so I'm so entertained by people's names. DroneOfArc on the left-hand side here on Newkirk as the red Zerg, and over here on the right-hand side of the map, eLNoLo? eLNoLo. I'm gonna go with eLNoLo. Not really sure how his name is supposed to be pronounced. Part of the fun though, and we have a probe headed down. Looks like he's going to be fast expanding. He's going to go for probably a forge expand there at the bottom of the ramp. Pretty good map for that. Pretty wide ramp though. You have to be pretty careful because lings can get in very easily and you know exactly where the opponent is. So maps like this, pretty good 6-pool, 10-pool maps versus Protoss when you come up against them as Zerg. So always want to be really careful when you're going for that, and always make sure to run over here and scout immediately after. Don't chill and wait to drop your forge or anything like that. Now back here at the Protoss base, he actually hasn't moved out and dropped his forge yet. It's going to be actually kind of a late forge. Usually you see it at like 12 or 13. You don't generally see it at like 15 or anything like this. And we see the probe moves up. He sees nothing has been started yet, so he's going to move down to the low ground. He's going to start patrolling down there, and he's going to prevent, oh no, he's just going to chill, but he is preventing that expansion from going down right now. The Protoss is sending a probe down, still has not started a forge. Pretty interesting choice here. Looks like, okay, there we go. We're going to start a forge, maybe a gateway, maybe another pylon, maybe a nexus. Looks like he wants to save for the nexus, which is a pretty ambitious choice here. He dropped a pylon over here, he let it finish, which is going to be denied for quite a long time. He moves his probe over. Oh, it does not actually keep it in control though. It gets knocked away from that auto attack. That's what happens when you don't actually set it on patrol. If you just attack a standing unit, it'll just bounce out of there. Now, proxy or cannon rushing a third. It's an interesting idea. On maps like Newkirk and I'm trying to think what other maps have this, Star Station, where you have the high ground right behind it, roaches can be extremely powerful here. Not only that, but queens from the high ground can just pick this stuff off. So you gotta be really sure you want to do this. It's generally not the best choice. It's a pretty big investment. And that's not even a full wall in right now. Those lings could run around the back right now. He better cancel that. Oh, he better cancel it. Oh, he doesn't cancel it. Okay, so this Protoss is actually getting pretty far ahead, or pretty far behind right now economically, to be honest. The Zerg should have just backed off and taken out that pylon at the third because there's no way this is going to finish. And then he could have just canceled this. And now it's going to be kind of a sketchy situation. The Queen is going to move over. Might be able to kill this cannon. That other one's definitely going to get up though. We'll have to see how that actually works out. And a third cannon going down. Back here at the natural, the first defensive cannon goes up. The gateway goes up, driving that overload away. Lots of cannons. That first cannon does drop. Another pylon going down. This queen not starting. There we go. Starting to work on it now. Lings out. And they're trying to kill that cannon. They're not actually going to be able to before this next one finishes, which means they're just going to get lit up from these two cannons. This cannon almost dead. 4 more shots. There we go. And now there are 2 queens out. This photon cannon looks like it might actually be finishing this hatchery. Got to be really careful here. Queen taking a few shots here while some more lings try and get out on the field. I really don't think there's ways he's going to be able to save this. He went ahead and dropped a creep tumor. This drone has slowly been beating that down, and the expansion does go down for eLNoLo. So, like I said, cannon rushing the third, kind of a risky situation. If we think about it, he's denied this third. Had those lings just moved over and gone for this, he could have already had his natural up, and then this investment out of the Protoss would have been a lot for nothing, essentially. Dropping all those cannons and stuff, really not that great. Good transfuse going down there. This queen's not going to be able to take down that cannon by itself though. And that cannon should probably just... Alright, it's going to pick off the queen because it's not getting microed, and then he's going to kill the hatchery. The natural just now going down for the Zerg. That's going to pop, and these Broodlings are going to have their revenge almost on that cannon. 6 HP on that cannon, and it lives. That is ridiculous. He is going to keep some of this creep out here at least, so a small positive to this situation, I suppose. Drones running over here. They're actually both going to die to this cannon. Yep, both died to that cannon. 2 HP on that cannon. These lings are furious. They're like, no, this cannot stand. One of them does die for it. So those cannons, an obscene amount of kills. Let's go ahead and look at units lost here. 875 resources lost for the Zerg, and that's not counting the hatcheries, keep in mind. Though the Protoss is losing a bunch. He lost, what, a cannon, a pylon, they didn't cancel a pylon, a cannon, a pylon, so 300, 450. He lost like 650 just in buildings, 750 just in buildings. He's about to lose 850 and 950 right there. But he has his natural up and running. He has 27 probes compared to the 23 drones. So he's in a very solid position right now. He's dropping a Twilight Council. I don't know if he's going for Dark Templar or if he's just going to be going for just general tech. Now the Zerg player does have vision over here on this side of the map. He starts the Nidus, but that's within vision of this pylon. So the Protoss player has to be pretty... Wow, the Protoss player is not reacting to this at all. He only has 1 gateway, and he does not have warp gate. So now these lings are going to pour out, and they're going to deal a massive amount of damage here. The Nidus word does go down. This Stalker doesn't get picked off. These probes are just going to move into the natural. Another Nidus worm going down, this time in the middle of the base. Drones moving out. Looks like they're just going to let those probes go free. Probably not a good idea. They're going to be able to focus down that Nidus worm. Blocking reinforcements. So good pull there by the Protoss player. Now, the Mothership Core does come out. The Stalker does fall, but these lings that are trapped in the base cannot actually fight these probes, and this Mothership Core is going to finish it off. So that's kind of a... Should have probably actually protected that Nidus worm a little bit better. Now these lings are just kind of running around, seeing what they can do, distract these probes from mining as long as possible. Right now there's no mining going on right now for the Protoss. So that's actually a pretty good distraction. There's now Hydralisks being finished up. Where are they at? I saw them. I saw those Hydralisks. There's 2 of them. One of them's right there. I don't know what happened to the other one. Did he jump in a Nidus worm? Yeah, he's in here. He's waiting. There's a lot of lings in there too. All he needs to do is get a Nidus worm out on the field. But yeah, this Stalker's not going to let it happen right now, so he's just going to go ahead and back up. It's actually going to get worked down a little bit low here from that one Stalker. So he's going to go ahead and start droning here. Now Dark Shrine coming out on the field for the Protoss player. So both of them being quote-unquote cheesy, but really just a lot of back and forth between the 2 players. Man, look how fast that Hydralisk is on creep. Look at that tail. Look at that. He's like so happy. His arms are like flailing. He's going so fast. He's so excited to be fast and not slow, Hydra. Slow little Hydra. Though they're so sad off creep. Did they finish the speed upgrade? No, him for the range upgrade first. Okay. Okay, so no retreat, no surrender. Alright, the Protoss player is dropping 2 more cannons. Now, if the Zerg is attentive here... Oh, run in, Zerg. Oh, there was no block there for a second. He could have gotten in, or at least forced that sentry to burn. Now, this Mothership Core does have enough energy to go ahead and charge up that Nexus. Wow, that's awesome. The Nidus Worm is coming up in the background. Oh my gosh, it might actually pop out. This is pretty ridiculous. Nothing I think is actually in the Nidus Worm, though. So while this Nidus Worm gets up, the Zerg's army isn't nearby to take advantage of it. So that kind of stinks. He finally gets it up. A queen and a drone. Now a bunch of lings. Okay, queen gets out. Here come the lings. Some damage being done. This Stalker getting picked off. It's actually a lot of drones are going to get picked off here. Enough lings got through this time. Another knight is starting up. The Dark Templar Shrine did finish though. So look for that on the production tab to be warping in maybe sometime here soon. Mutalisk being started. Nidus Worm does get picked off. The Zealots and Stalker that were at the front of the base do come in. Cancel on that. Not going to be able to build that Spine Crawler. Very sad. Creep Tumor is just going to hang out there though. Giving a little bit of vision inside the Protoss player's base. Gooping up the bottom of this Templar archive and Warp gate, kind of cool little animations they added. To the bottom of those, Dark Templar. Ever see Dog with Beakers? I have no idea what I'm doing. I know exactly what he's talking about, actually. The meme. Okay, so the Zerg has 41 drones right now, and he's starting on mutas. Feel like that's a good choice right now. Mutas are coming into the base over here. They're going to start working down these probes, picking them off one by one. Some more of them falling. Some pretty great damage here done actually out of the Zerg. He should probably start his Nidus again while he has these. He knows nothing wants to engage him up here, which is a good sign. If nothing wants to engage you, you may as well start your Nidus again. You've done worse, but now the Dark Templars are in here. They're slicing up drones, 2 kills, 3 kills, and now this other one's going to get into the main mineral line. Slicey, slicey. Okay, he's actually... There we go. Alright, so let's start taking a look at workers killed. It's 30 to 16, 18, 19. Look at that Protoss slowly coming back on this. And the Templar does get blocked in. He's going to be forced... Oh no, he's actually doing really well focusing Zerglings. The Overseer does pop out. In the meantime, the mutas are still being ridiculous in the main base. The creep tumors are spreading across the map. The mutas should not be trying to focus this down with that many stalkers right there. If anything, they should try and pick off the sentries and run away. They're going to get away though, and they'll heal back up. The Zerg player is pretty much on 4 bases right now. He definitely does not have enough drones to, make use of those 4 bases, but he does have 4. The front of this Protoss player's base is going to be really difficult to breach with a ground army with that many cannons, mothership core, and those 2 sentries right there. Now we see a robo going down. That's a pretty interesting choice considering all the mutas that are already out on the field right now. Flyer attacks +1 going down for DroneOfArc. Photon overcharge going down on this Nexus. It's going to go ahead and shoot those mutalisks away. One of them does die. Another one moves over to join the flock right now though. And the Zerg is still just kind of creeping up the main of the Protoss over here. So lots of mutas out on the field. Protoss player floating so much gas right now. I'm really surprised he didn't go for Stargates and start moving out with a bunch of Phoenix. Phoenix Archon, not the worst composition in the world versus this Zerg army, because the Archons counter Lings pretty well, and even Hydra's kind of decently. And then the Phoenixes definitely counter the Mutalisks and can start lifting up the Hydralisks after that. That being said, these Mutas just flew into the Protoss player's main base and are trying to trade straight up, which they pretty much are doing. They did a pretty good exchange. And now they're going to start working down the Nexus. There is a cannon here to try and defend it. But it looks like there's going to be enough mutas that they're probably going to be able to take it out. Photon overcharge going down on that Nexus though. This mothership core is going to get picked off. And all the cannons at the front of the base, awesome. But there's none to protect this Nexus here on this back path. So now this Nexus is getting focused. A lot of pylons just chilling near, and they're just going to go ahead and leave the game. So Zerg player up 141 supply to 29 there at the end of the game. Do that constant harassment just over and over and over again. Creep gooping up. Look how sad those warp gates look. They're so angry that they're covered in creep. The bottom of this poor Nexus. Look at it. It's all grossed up. Anyway, this is Lokazi casting for you. Replays from Reddit, so r/CastIt. Barely managed to get that out. This was, like I said, Lokazi casting for you. Go ahead and follow me on my social media if you would. I cast from replays decently often. I'm going to be doing it more and more, getting my practice back on, trying to work on my casting a little bit more. A little bit out of practice. The CSL season ended for University of Houston, who I usually cast for a while ago, and haven't had a lot to cast from. Actually resorted to casting some League of Legends, though ZZZ, and I'm not talking about Zerg, just boring. Those games last forever, though not as long as Dota 2, and are quite played out as far as the metagame. It's pretty much like watching ZvT at the end of Wings of Liberty every single League of Legends game. You know what's going to be going on. Sometimes it's kind of fun to watch the skill level of the players, but it's really figured out. These CastIt replays are pretty entertaining to watch. You never know what's going on. You never know when you're going to get an interesting name like DroneOfArc, stuff like that. Anyway, Lokazi casting for you. Keep uploading these replays on CastIt. I know me and the other casters practicing here really appreciate it, guys. And thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next